Pebble Creek, Idaho. My name is Miles McLaughlin here at Wilco Land. What we do is we buy and sell what we like to call unique and epic land investments. So we do offer more of a self-service product. So in this video, I'm going to talk about these listings. I'm going to show you where they're at on a map. I'm going to go over the topography, what I see in the area, and some of my opinions and thoughts about it, and then answer some FAQs or common questions that we get here. So just kicking this video off with a quick disclaimer. This isn't real estate advice. This isn't legal advice. This is simply me sharing what I know about the property through my homework, through my due diligence, and my experience in the industry. So you as a buyer are going to have to conduct your own due diligence and make sure the property is the right fit for you. So again, kicking this off, I do own a couple more properties up here. So I'm going to cover all three of them in this video. Getting started, I just want to show you a quick bird's eye view of where these are located. This is really a special area for those looking for some landed elevation and surrounded by the National Forest. So just dropping in here, we're just north of Salt Lake City. This is Yellowstone, Jackson, Wyoming here, Idaho Falls, right? So really a cool location. Here's Lava Hot Springs. So again, just a bird's eye view on a map. We're within this national forest here, and I'll pull it up. A lot of peaks here, and then you got Pebble Creek ski area right there too. So what am I doing to find the location? I'm simply using the GPS coordinates right outside of our listing here that we've got posted down here that you can see. So I want to show you these three properties on Google Earth quick as well. So here are the three lots that we have, right? This is going to be like 1.3 acres. This is another 1.2 or 3 acres and another 1.2 or 3. So three legal lots here that I wanted to point out to you guys. So they're all really close to each other. These two just touch each other. If you're interested in more acreage, this will total about 3 acres total if you want these two lots. Just looking from a bird's eye perspective here, I want to talk about what we can learn. I don't have any photos of the property right now. I want to be clear. These photos are of the area out there that we found online. There is a campground out here and there is a ranger station. So a Forest Service cabin. So I'm going to get into those two structures and there's a lot of photos actually online about this area. And I'll show you guys that in a minute. So just number one, looking at Google Earth, just surrounded by National Forest here. As I zoom out here, we've got Haystack Mountain. Again, you can kind of get an idea. Google Earth has all this imagery. So here's Pebble Creek Canyon, the Portneuf Range, if I'm saying that right. It's really beautiful. You're going to get fall colors and just a ton of trails in your backyard, right? You've got a trail system in your backyard. This is Big Spring Campground. So you see how the land is located right here. There's a ranger station out here and there's a campground that both have really good photos. So this is Pebble Basin. So, right, like the photo we're posting is off Google Earth. Somebody supposedly took this photo right up here in this area. It's beautiful. Here's another one showing probably what you can expect up there. So I just want to give you an idea. This is a Pebble Guard Station. And I want to pull that up just to give you Pebble Guard Station again, right? I mean, this sign is right here. So we are looking at, we can get an idea what this area is going to be like through the internet. There's so much technology and resources at our fingertips to look at these land investments, right? You've got Big Springs Campground right here, Big Canyon. So you've got all these right outside your doorstep. You've got all these hiking trails and you've got recreation at your fingertips. If you're into this area in the winter, if you want to snowmobile up here, great. I will talk about access during the winter here at the end of the video. So again, we have some data points available to us to help us get at least a depiction of what we can expect up in this area, right? So it's beautiful. This is really cool. Really a cool neck of the woods. So you got the aspens in the fall. This is going to be an awesome property, right? You can just see you're surrounded by national forests, right? So I won't stay on Google Earth too long. I want to zoom out a little bit. And this is the big picture view of what you're looking at. Here's Pebble, Idaho, right down here. Here's the road that comes up into this system. It looks like you can access it from the back end over here too. So it looks like there's some different roads that maybe come up into this subdivision where some other people have property. So I had talked about Big Springs Campground. I talked about that guard station. So I do want to show you that here on Google. Where did I find this information? I'm simply using the GPS coordinates off of our listing to go into Onyx Maps. So here's my next favorite app. If I'm going to go view a property like this, I'm going to use Onyx Maps. You can download this on your phone. You can see where you're walking around on the property. If you have the elite version, it's less than $100 a year, I think, and there's a free week trial. You can see these property lines. You can see we own these three lots, 1, 2, 3. Okay. These two lots are kind of touching down along the road here. All your neighbors have really not developed. It looks like some people have maybe some off-grid cabins. I don't even really see a driveway in here. I'm guessing in maybe a dry cabin, an off-grid, seasonal cabin that somebody's got. This is a pretty developed out property potentially. Maybe a tin roof that's on it. I don't know. I think I saw a few other properties that had yurts. So if you zoom in, it looks like this is probably just a campsite. People bring their RVs up here or campers. It's appearing like, and these are just data points, right? I'm going off, I'm looking at the same things you're looking at. So you can make your own opinions and assumptions as well, but I'm showing you, indirect and passive ways to how can I do due diligence on a property in a very simple way. Again, looks like kind of an RV site, maybe a campground that somebody's using. This, on the other hand, looks like somebody's got a yurt and maybe some sort of cabin out here, probably dry. Again, I don't see driveways. It doesn't look like maybe power's out there. I don't know where the closest power is. This person may have power, and this person may be going to view, seeing where power is at, talking to a neighbor or two. You may get a better feel of what's this area like. But right now, the only data I have at my fingertips is what I can find online. I haven't even had a photographer out to these properties yet. And I'll talk about that in a bit, but you can see how other folks are using their lands. Guys are, and girls are getting creative with their properties, right? I don't know how many of these people actually have well and septic out here. Maybe it's a bunch of dry cabins, maybe it's a bunch of glorified campsites, and there's yurts and tiny homes up here, but you can see people are using their properties in various ways out here. So I just wanted to point that out. It looks like another maybe yurt structure right here and kind of a drive-through, which leads me to believe they're bringing campers and RVs and stuff up here too. So this is going to be your mecca of recreation during the summer months. So again, we can see there's a square chunk of land here. That's private land ownership. There's one big landowner too, King Creek Grazing, that owns a bunch of it. But the majority of land around you is going to be Caribou National Forest, over 40,000 acres. So as I zoom out, you can see this is the only little niche of private land ownership all within this Portneuf range. That Portneuf mountain range, there's very, very, very little private land ownership. Everything in green that I have, it's 40,000 plus acres. You add this that it joins it, another 30,000 acres of Caribou National Forest. This is all BLM land, so there is just very, very little private land ownership. And these little dotted lines are all camping, like hiking trails, right? ATV dirt bike, 2.3 miles. So you can see there's an interconnected trail system all along this mountain range. OHV trails up here, right? Boundary Trail, West Motorized Trailhead. So there's a lot of opportunity for recreation. And how special is this area? They decided to make a campground up here. So here's Big Canyon. Here's a cool trail. It looks like the Haystack Connection or the connector. Look at this trail that runs up along this ridgeline. So again, right, just kind of pointing out all this recreation that Onyx Maps can show you. For not even being at the property, we're learning quite a bit about it. So here's that guard station I was talking about. And it talks a little bit about the history here. It was built in 1908. Guests can rent this place out. It can only be accessed in snowmobile in the winter. So I want to talk on that here in a second. Let me finish up going through the area, but this does have seasonal access. Like I have the photo pulled up here. Roads and trails are seasonally closed to wheeled motorized vehicle from November through May. What this is saying here on Onyx Maps is that you need like a snowmobile or a snow machine, which isn't uncommon. There's plenty of people snowmobiling out to these properties and going backcountry skiing and going backcountry snowmobiling and things like that. So that isn't unheard of for those that are serious in the outdoor activities and outdoor sports. So again, it kind of talks about the cabin, and there's also a website that it brings you to. And I bring this up because this is an idea for maybe what you could do on one of these properties. Obviously, you as a buyer need to make sure that, these ideas work, with what you want to do or it fits what you're looking for. But at least it's another data point. This cabin is right by the properties that we're selling. And it gives us an insight into what has been done on a similar type of property. And that's it. It's just a data point to be considered. It's by no means should be treated as the Bible, right? And then here's the next thing I want to go through is this Big Springs Caribou Campground right here. It's at 6,500 feet, right? And Lava Hot Springs are up here, 16 miles from Lava Hot Springs, Idaho, right? It talks about sagebrush, grasses, wildflowers, dot the landscape, cutthroat and rainbow trout in Pebble Creek right here. So you've got great fishing up here too. And then there's a nature trail that begins at the site. So it talks about all the trail systems that are back here. So Onyx Maps is just a really cool resource to learn more about an area, whether it's our property or somebody else's. Then you've got 2 9-hole disc golf courses linked to around the pool complex. I don't know where that is, but tubing on the Port Neuf River is also very popular too. So, I think they're talking about stuff down in town here. Lava Hot Springs is close enough for an exciting one-day trip. So there's natural hot springs and soaking pool, and we're at Lava Hot Springs. We're all the way down here, right? So they're talking about heading into Lava Hot Springs, the Olympics swimming pool and stuff like that. So you've got the campground down here, but yeah, there's going to be fishing up here. We've got this creek. Here's Pebble Creek running all throughout this area. See that? So the creek runs all throughout here. Here's North Fork Pebble Creek, right by our properties. If I have our properties here, the creek's right here, and here's another one here for fly fishing. So, right, we're learning about the properties as we go through this. And then you can see the campground right here. I can view more photos to get kind of an idea of what this looks like, how wooded it is up here, and kind of what some of these campsites look like, how dense the forest is. So again, it'll talk about the campsite about 6,500 feet of elevation. So, getting back to the listing, we've talked about how to use Onyx Maps. I'm simply using the GPS coordinates in here to find the property, right? Zooming in here, I've got property 1. They're all fairly flat properties. I think they're all pretty similar. I'm going to go 3D imagery here. This one might have a little bit of a slope, so maybe a better view of, if I zoom out, maybe a better view into the canyon here. This one, it slopes down a little bit too, it looks like. Let's just look here. Yeah, they're pretty flat though. So this is one of ours, this is one of ours, and this is one of ours. So all 3 are pretty flat that are going to offer some pretty cool views. You can kind of see that if I move my imagery, this is kind of what we're looking at here, right? Pretty cool, really cool area. So that's kind of a bird's eye view of the property and what we're looking at here. I talked about, I have it up on Google Earth here. You can look at, we went through this already. If I zoom out, we're in this mountain range, Lava Hot Springs right down here. Okay. And so, it is accessible. We talked about access during the summer, for wheeled vehicles and stuff like that. You can, if you are into snowmobiling or have a snow machine, you can get up there in the winter too. Last thing I want to talk about is, just zoning and things like that. You're welcome to look into the zoning website here. We share some of that information. We at Wilco, we do a pretty surface level of due diligence. I'm here to share what I know about the property with you right now. You as the end buyer are going to have to make sure the property is the right fit for you. So again, like I said, we talked about some potential use ideas that people are using out here by just looking at Google Earth and satellite imagery. Just knowing that, we're seeing people with what look to be yurts, what look to be turnarounds for campsites. You can see this grass has kind of been dead away. I'm guessing they're pulling campers in there. So again, it isn't a perfect science, but at least it's giving us an idea of what we're potentially going to invest in. So just give me a call if you want to chat more about this. I'm open to selling, a couple of these together, all of them together at a discount or individually. We do offer seller financing, and we are in the business of moving land fast. So if you need us to compete with the price, or you're looking for a cash discount, just get with us. My number here at Wilco, 605-299-5553. I do have a lot of other Idaho land investments around the Boise area, up by Sandpoint, just really across the western United States, around Kellogg, Idaho, and stuff like that too, the Snake River. So again, get with us if you have questions. Like I said, this isn't the only listing we have, and I'm happy to get you on email updates if you're looking for that too. Thanks for tuning in.